Ujama is a Swahili word meaning extended family. At Ujama Place, we're taught to be our brother's keeper.
Basic needs services such as housing, employment, education, mental health and wellness, and criminal justice advocacy support our transformation.
Regardless of how society treats us, Ujama Place teaches us to love ourselves.
At Ujama Place, we turn our pride into gratitude. Join us at our information sessions every Wednesday at 10 a.m. To learn more, go to ujamaplace.org. That's UJAMAA place.org.
This podcast is recorded at and produced by OMG Studios in St. Paul, Minnesota. If you're a podcaster looking to record in a professional studio with top-of-the-line equipment and tech, check out OMG Studios. You don't even have to be in Minnesota. You can record from anywhere. Your message is important, and your listeners should hear it loud and clear. Visit omgmediasolutions.com/reserve to learn about rates and scheduling.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another episode of A Black Man's Sketch. This is a season 5. This is your host, Wes.
Sensae the Will,
Titus foreseen.
It's Robert Webb.
and Raphael for us.
Man, it's great to see y'all brothers, man.
How y'all doing today?
Positive.
Man, I'm doing good. You know what it is. I mean, it was a nice day out. I was outside planting some plants.
Most definitely.
Oh,
it was nice.
It's a busy day and traffic.
I'm focused and motivated today. Yes, I
Great.
I feel that focus.
Great things, man. Great things. All right, man. I'm going to get right to it. So, being that June is right around the corner, you know what I mean? One thing that's pulling up on us is Father's Day. Huh?
Yeah, that's a good day.
Father's
You know,
that's my
we all
day.
have fathers. You know.
And being a father yourself,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a day to look forward to. I don't really celebrate it like that, but now that I have 2 little daughters and stuff, I love to celebrate it and stuff. So
No, I feel that energy though, for real. Because I mean, growing up, my father really wasn't like that with me on Father's Day. I mean, we went fishing and stuff, but that's different. Like,
yeah,
I wanted more different stuff, like some dirt bike stuff,
Right.
Be in the dirt.
dirt bike.
Yes.
Hey, shout out to the fathers, man. Shout out to the fathers. Now, Titus and Robert, I think y'all was talking about y'all being fathers. You know what I mean? Elaborate a little more on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have a son named Asher. He's turning 2 next month, He's a cutie. But, I mean, right now I don't get to spend that time with him, which I want. But I'm working on it, though. And that's all that counts. I'm working on it.
The effort, that's
yes,
that
sir.
is. Yes, the effort.
Working on it.
I got 2 little girls. I got a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old, Anais and Nadia. I'm about to get them on like the 3rd or something, so they finna be up here soon, especially for that daughter dance. You finna see me there with my daughters and stuff, so y'all finna see. Sure, but I'm very excited. Can't wait to see them and stuff, man.
Keep that energy, bro. Keep that energy, for real.
That's a beautiful thing to hear, man. That's a beautiful thing to hear. Question I have for y'all two, Titus and Robert, you know what I mean? With y'all two being fathers yourselves, I want to know, how did you guys as fathers influence y'all on how y'all gonna be fathers to y'all kids?
Well, my father, he always been in my life, so, I always am thankful and just always want to be a better dad than he was to me. That's just always the goal. That's the next step to evolution and stuff, break the generational curses. So, I'm going to always be there. I'm going to always fight for my kids no matter what, So it just makes me better. I want to be a way better father than anybody else. I want to be number 1,
Facts.
I want them to look at me, see something, inspire them to grow and just do beautiful things I know they finna do. So it's a beautiful journey for sure.
Yeah, I agree on that because, I mean, my father, I can see he taught me some amazing things that I never knew when I was, younger until I understood now what he taught me just helped me grow into the man that I am today. Because if he didn't taught me those footsteps that I needed to be taught, I would not be the person I am today. So I'm going to teach that to my son and how to be a proper man, how to be a proper person, and how to be a proper role model for everybody that he's around, because that's just what it is.
a whole lot of leading by example. And that's what we all about over here
sir.
at the Black Man Sketch.
Yes, sir.
And Ujamaa, and that's what we should be about in the black community, period. And that's what we hear over the airwaves, spitting over to y'all. Yeah, what up, Sensae?
Yo, Wagwan, what's up, my brother?
Yeah, I'm chilling. Happy to see you, bro.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you as well, you know.
Yeah, so how'd your father affect your life, bro?
Man, my father, I want to say my father has done great for me, and being around, and being consistently around, you know, not just like always around and then we don't know where yet, you know, like how some people struggle with it, you know. My parents, them, you know, they were never, or they're not together, at least like for my life, not together, you know. And I grew up out of 8 siblings, you know, I'm 7th.
Yeah.
You know, so like it was different from my other siblings when it was together, I suppose, you know. For me though, I know that my father was somebody that's like, okay, yeah, definitely. If I need some help, if something is serious, you know, pop up,
yeah,
that's somebody I can call when it's like, oh dang, this problem, or you know what I'm saying. For those big moments, some big, you know what I'm saying, problems that can arise, you have somebody you can call on, you know.
That's always good to have because I never had that growing up, like with my father, and I had 2 fathers, which is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's good though.
I'm very inspired by how y'all are like talking about how y'all want to do better for your kids, and you know what I'm saying, and just you know, break the generational curses as they call it, and you know what I'm saying. Me, I'm somebody that, you know, I ain't got no kids yet, you know. So.
Don't get none yet.
Don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush.
But it's still a lovely experience.
Take your time.
Take your time. I'll be here.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna take that slow. You know what I'm saying? The way it was, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger, shoot, I might have a kid out there.
Whoa!
I don't
know if you want to do that.
Right now, taking it super slow motion with all of that motion, you know.
That's good.
Boy.
Would you guys say you had a effect without your father versus if he was in your life? You feel like it would be different with your relationship?
You know, that's I feel one thing I can say is that how I say this, you know. I don't. That's pretty complex, actually. You know, that's like we're dealing with. You know, because all kind of things would shift over in other directions. We don't have that. Sometimes, if you don't have your father, I know that some people have somebody that's like their father, and sometimes depending on a point in time. Because when I've been out of the country, back home, I wasn't around my dad. My dad was in America. You know, so it was kind of like in a situation where it was like, dang, you know what I'm saying, and then. Outside of the country, a lot of stuff happened to me. You know, I got into all sorts of situations, and you know what I'm saying. You know, that type of life. You know, that lifestyle.
Yeah.
So,
I have a question for you, bro. So one thing that your father instilled in you that you still remember to this day, that you like can go back on and just be like, my father taught me this, and I can remember that.
I would say one thing that my father taught me. It's definitely to progress in a direction of positivity and you know what I'm saying, and like health, you know what I'm saying, and just you know those things that you know that are good, keep them
Close to you. I get that. Yeah.
Raphael.
Yep. What's up?
Got anything to add to this conversation?
It's really nice to hear you guys' story, but unfortunately mine's is very different. So I grew up with my mom and my dad when I was like, I'll say in my young youth years until when I was 5 years old. That's when the first time I seen their fight, and they kind of separated their own ways. I saw a little bit of my dad as I got older, but like when I was 10 or 11 years old, he left. He didn't say anything. He didn't say nothing, and he went out of state and, you know, that's when I discovered I have 2 little sisters. So I don't really have a relationship with my dad, but that's something that I look forward into rebuilding at some point.
That's good, bro. That's real cool.
Had to stand up for this one. Now, the title of the show is A Black Man Sketch, mind y'all. You know, Raphael, I heard the pain in your voice when you was telling that story. You know what I mean? I can relate. In the black community, it happens so often that the father is not in the house for whatever reason, for whatever conflict may have took place between the mother and the father or the families and whatnot. And a lot of times that stuff be happening before we're even born. You know what I mean? I'm one of those kids I grew up without a father as well. My father came into my life a little later on when I was in my teenager years and so on. So we talking and we're building our relationship right now. 4 siblings that I'm still building a relationship with. And I'll be honest with you, it's a slow one. I think earlier one of us asked another one of us like how it would have been if our father was there and our father would not. And you know what? That could be a whole different parallel universe. Or sometimes you never know because, you know, as young black men, you know what I mean, we strong. We survive anything, whether the father was there or not. You know what I mean? My father always knew that I could handle myself. You know what I mean? So I ain't too mad about him not being around. I grew up with my mom too, Raph. You know what I mean? My mom had to be strong. You know what I mean? So I had to be strong too. You know what I mean? Ain't no other way around it. And me, I'm a guy, I grew up with uncles and, you know, teachers, guys in the neighborhood. Guys were like big brother figures and father figures, like the coaches of Ujama, you know what I mean? So I want to take a moment to shout out to the father figures, to the uncles, to the stepdads, to the coaches, you know what I mean? Whether you're a life coach or a sports coach, a trainer, whatever you are, you know what I mean? The OGs, the elder pastors, you know what I mean? All the men out there that... Right. All the men out there that are there for the younger generation in the positive ways. Shout out to y'all. Let's give them a hand, man.
Well, one thing I would say is my dad taught me what not to do because I seen it, and also like silence does say something. So just because someone don't say nothing doesn't mean that you can't learn from it.
All right, one thing about the fathers or the father figures, they're there to teach us. You know what I mean? Oftentimes they're the role models, but they're the format that we copy off of, that we go off of. What we see men do is what we emulate, whether it's, like I said, whether it's our father himself, whether it's a man that we see working, and even, hey, whatever role models on TV that we look up to, we end up emulating. A moment ago, we had an interesting moment where we was asking what lessons did we learn from our fathers or whatever the case may be. So I kind of want to go around and let's give a couple of tidbits what we learned from our fathers or father figures. And I'm going to start. You know what I mean? Me, I worked at a car wash, and my boss, his name was D. He was like a father figure, you know what I mean? He just taught me about solid hard work. I mean, that was it. And it was more rewarding to me than being on the street. You know what I mean? I got to get a workout in, a lot of, you know, good conversations, a lot of dropping jewels and stuff like that. And staying committed to the goals, you know what I mean, till things get done. And I'm going to switch it to what some stuff that a Jamba coach taught me, Gabrielle. Gabrielle taught me that you got to finish what you start, because if you don't, you'll never finish anything. With that, I'm going to pass.
Guess I could go. Even though, like, my father did teach me some things, there's quite a few things he haven't taught me, but my uncle, he was in my life, and even though he's currently not with me right now, this is what he taught me. He taught me to be honest, be yourself, and work hard for what you earn. If you don't put the work in, that's why you're just doing nothing, because you didn't put the work.
Facts.
Well, my dad, he's still to this day, he be teaching me things, you know. Taught me how to do a lot of stuff, how to, well, kind of taught myself how to fight. But, you know, he taught me how to, like, do breaks. So, like, certain things that a man's going to necessarily going to need to do to, you know, go on with life. He'll help me, like, if we're renovating houses, he'll teach me how to do it. When we're moving houses, he'll teach me certain techniques just to better my life, just to help me as a man grow and do what I need to do. So he still does things to this day to help me, you know, learn from and stuff. So I'll still be learning off him. I could go off another question. Why are fathers or father figures important in a child's life? Because when the child has no one to look up to, they're gone. They go through the first mind, or the first thing they go to is just like, it's either streets, it's either, oh, I'm finna get this money, or it's, oh, pimping, anything like that. So it's like, once you have that strong role model to see he's doing positive things, it's gonna make you also want to do positive things, you know, just for your life, you know. We did have a little negative things going on. He went to jail and stuff, came back, but after that, we just been on the grind, all that. So he still teaches me things and stuff, so very glad I have him in my life.
That's a blessing, bro.
Yeah, that's good.
We're going to get back to that question, you know what I mean, that you just asked. We're going to get back to that because that's an interesting topic. All right, Titus, what your pops told you? Because I actually got the idea from us doing this round from you.
My father actually taught me hard work and also consistency, and also different ways of gardening, and also working in the field. He taught me about different plants, and because we own a garden at my house, and also he taught me about farming, different farm equipment and different ways to use it. And because his grandfather was a farmer too, and it's just in the family, so he just taught me different ways of running a whole house pretty much since I was a kid. So he taught me how to clean, do all that, which is just things we just do. But yes, that's what my father taught me.
Word. Solid.
Yes.
Last but not least,
Sensae.
what your pops taught you?
Yes, you know, my father taught me that, you know, my pops, he really taught me history when I was young. You know what I'm saying? And I encourage all fathers out there, you know, or all parents in general, teach your children history. History is very, very important. You know what I'm saying? And having that as a baseline, from a young age, right? Like, you know, because we look in the history books, it's gonna say, oh yeah, we savages and stuff, you know. When it comes to African and indigenous peoples, the history books is not looking, these Western history books are not looking good for us, you know.
No.
Right.
When you flip to that page, you're not gonna like it, you know.
No.
So
It's usually one point of view.
yeah, and my mom and my pops, you know, even though they're not really, you know, not in the same house, like, ain't raising me together, you know. Still, you know, they both were heavy on that, on the theme of thinking for yourself, you know. You know, and they let me know from a young age that, like, yeah, you know, people will lie to you. You know what I'm saying? The textbooks will lie to you. The government will lie to you. These people will lie to you. You know what I'm saying? So some people, they walk around just thinking, oh yeah, everything that they write down has to be true. Oh, everything that they say, oh, they would never lie. You know what I'm saying? So
You gotta think for yourself. You gotta be a self-thinker.
Yeah, you have to think to yourself, you know, and I appreciate both my parents so much for giving me that at a young age, exposing me to that at a young age.
It's funny how you say that, Sensei, because the main reason why, like, I want to become a teacher is to educate others, particularly young black men around our age, or just even high schoolers, because they need to know them for themselves. The truth.
Yes, you know, that's a whole segment, right?
Yeah, that's a whole different segment, because if you want to get to like the rabbit hole of the systematic not reason, but like, you know, the systematic play of why fathers ain't the black man house and all that type of stuff, man. Like, man, I don't even want to get on that one. That's another time. Boy.
No, that's right.
Yeah, man. Well, before we move to the next conversation, I'm gonna name two more things I was taught by a couple people. One, my pops taught me that any negativity towards you is jealousy. So if you ever have any encounters with, you know, somebody giving you negative energy or a hater, you know what I mean? It's probably just jealousy for some reason. And Coach Keith taught me hard work and patience, you know what I mean? Things can manifest. I'll get on that another time. I think we should look at why our fathers being in our lives and being in our house is so important, especially in the black community. You know what I mean? Rob, you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah. So, you know, my take on why it's important for a father to be in a child's life is because, you know, back to what I was saying, a child, they go off their first mind, their first look. You know how it's like negativity with the music, you know, the sexy red and stuff. That's already corrupting our black community already. So, you know, it's just little things like that, you know. When there's a father in the house, you know, you could turn that off or something, you know. A mom's not going to do that, you know. A mom can do so much, you know. You know, she works and do all this, especially a single mom, you know.
Right.
Yeah. You know, she going to work, do all that. She tired. Her daughter going to do whatever, or her son going to do whatever, go outside, you know. They ain't finna be, you know, they don't have no strict, nothing holding them back. Structure. You know, it's just them, no structure. So, you know, a father being in their life is good structure for them, you know.
Right.
You know, it's going.
I think it's really important to have both the father and mother figure in the life, because they both have roles. And the roles that they play, those are the roles we look up to. Those are the roles that we're going to become one day ourselves.
Me growing up with a father and a mother in the household was definitely different, because right now what's happening in my family is a little sad, but it's the truth. They're going through a divorce, and it's breaking up the family, which my siblings are going through that, and it's very different from how I grew up to see that in my family and everything. But, hey, I'm good, though.
Yeah.
I'm good, though. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now, because I know what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
But you still fear that they'll affect how they grow up, you know?
It'll affect my siblings.
Yeah, because you grew up with your parents together and happy and stuff. They're going to see them all. So despising each other a little bit, you know? So it'll affect how they grow up a little bit, but you could say that.
Definitely.
Yes, more resilience, you know.
Really? For real, though.
I was with an ex years ago, and she had a 3-year-old child. So I played stepdad to that child. Mm-hmm. She would always tell me that little boy, he's like a blank piece of paper. You know what I mean? And anything he sees and hear can have an effect or an imprint on him. You know what I mean? Now, I'm going to get to me because, like I said, I'm a kid that grew up without a father. For me, it was mom, grandma, and a bunch of aunties. You know what I mean? Uncles, but, all right, these uncles can't... I'm my uncle's nephew. I'm not my uncle's son. So they can't really fully be there for me like they were my father. So... I mean, yeah, unfortunately, it had to be the rappers. It had to be 50 Cent. You know what I mean? I lived on the West Coast, so it had to be Crips and Bloods and Pimps. And yeah, things of that nature. And the thing is, when everybody in that environment is encouraging it, no one's telling you wrong. You know what I mean? And even if they are, sometimes like you're already so deep in it, you don't see no way out until you come to the
reality gets twisted up.
Yeah, and you come to the end of yourself. And it be situations like that when we be like, man, those of us that didn't have a father, we wishing like, man, where's our father? Wishing we had someone to turn to. You know what I mean? Sometimes those OGs and those homeboys on the block, you know what I mean, sometimes, most of the time, if not all the time, leading us down the wrong way. You know what I mean? So, once again, I'm going to shout out the stepfathers and the coaches and the father figures that are around for those types of situations. You know what I mean?
That's true enough. Yeah,
No, that's right.
I feel what you say there. It's intricate. I don't want to get too in, like what we said about what's gonna be the other topic. Of what exactly has been done to our community by a particular force or organization, however you want to put it. And I want to focus on the importance of community and bring it back home to, like, in Africa. In Africa, I notice in America they have a lot of pressure on the both, even when it's two parents.
That is true.
There's a lot of pressure. Everything that the two parents have to do with them. You know what I'm saying? Have to do it.
That is very true.
By themselves. It's not like that in Africa. In Africa, the whole community raise a child. The parent can go to work, come back, and they ain't even see the kid all day, right? And the child's good, ain't no daycare or nothing like that. Yeah, this auntie. And the other thing is that siblings step up, play a whole nother role.
Exactly.
Like, and it's a big family typically, And when you get to when the child get to about 10, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the siblings gonna take care of it. The cousins, they're gonna take care of it. They're gonna do everything for that child, So I feel like it's a broader conversation, a community, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And historically, a lot of the times, parents play the role protecting the family, sometimes even in like a warrior sense, right? Or going to war for the family, you know what I'm saying? And that's been, it's not the same like that no more.
Like in Africa, it's different because I grew up partly in Africa too, because I'm from Liberia and everything.
Tell
and
us
the way
about
I
it.
was raised is not the same way that I was raised in the United States.
Let me ask y'all a question. This is for Sensae and Titus. Over there in the motherland, right? The aspect of fatherhood, it got to be more sacred, you know what I mean, and more importantly looked at than how it is over here at Walmart America. You know what I mean? Y'all think I could?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's very sacred.
Westernized Walmart, artificially wrapped up America.
Yeah, it's very different. It's very different. When you have like growing up in, rites of passage to become a tradition, a traditional, man or woman of whatever. Really, above all of that, a spirit of that specific nation, of that people. It has a lot to do with the ancestors as well as the parents, the elders, everything. It's a big deal, You becoming an adult in that type of society. And it comes with so much stuff that you have to learn, Like, you're going to here, I feel like sometimes they're like, oh, this is your profession, this is your one thing, you know what I'm saying? Back home, you knew everything. You learn how to hunt, you learn how to fish, you know how to grow food, you know how to do this, you know how to swim, you know how to play the drum, you know how to dance. You do everything to the fullest, you know what I'm saying? And you do it with a specific intention, and with a connection to the community. So it's very sacred. The entire process is very sacred, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. I love that. I love that we got to get that input from that area. You know what I mean? Because we need that over here in our area. I think the black community needs to know what that was in the motherland. Just
like going to church was different there too.
Really?
Yes, church here is different than church there because we worship like all day. Like all day in church.
Really?
Yo.
Man, my church is 11 to 1 o'clock.
Exactly. No, we war with the Lord. Which is crazy because I've been to like a white church and everything, and Catholic churches, it's not the same. It's just not
of course
the same.
it ain't.
No, we get down different. That's just what it is.
Man.
Yes.
I did want to touch up on the subject real quick, y'all, about how it is being a single father.
Go ahead.
Because it's it is difficult because, especially with 2 kids, 2 daughters and stuff, you're gonna always think like, damn, you gotta change diapers, do all this.
Come on.
Yeah, it's a lot, especially as a single dad. as that role, you're not even supposed to be playing that role, as I can say, because you know you are a provider at the same time.
Right.
And you do need someone taking care of the kids. So luckily I have my mom and grandma to watch my kids while I handle my business like that.
Yeah.
So
It's a blessing.
you know, and it's really hard with single dads who don't have a foundation of family who can help them with that, because when they're going through things with their relationship with their significant other and the child's involved, sometimes they can't see the child, then you can't talk to the child. So it's just, you know, difficult things. So, you know, still want to shout out to the dads who be trying. You know, I know how hard it can be, but, you know, just keep on going.
Man, Robert, thank you, because you know what, that's a whole aspect that we forgot. The fathers that are trying, that are going through it, they may not be with the mother of their child, and the mother of that child may got them going through all kinds of craziness. Like, I don't have kids, I haven't gone through it, but I've witnessed it.
Yeah.
Got a whole bunch of homies that went through it. I don't think my father or mother went through it, but, you know what I mean? I know how painful that could be. So, let's shout out for the fathers that are trying, no matter how hard it gets.
Yeah, because it's all about trying. And
Absolutely.
Gotta try.
once your children know you trying, they're going to always unconditionally love you. So, you know, just always try for your kids.
No matter what somebody tells them, that's just the truth.
So I have a question for y'all too. You know, Robert and Titus, y'all fathers. What's it like with the legal system and stuff nowadays? And man, I already know it's probably a headache.
Man, I can't even speak on it like that. But like, I'm currently trying to, you know, get 50-50 custody. I'm in a okay state with my, you know, children's mother. So, you know, we doing a 3-month deal going on right now. So, as long as that's okay and everything, I hope I could, you know, get my kids. It's all good. I just want to be able to get my kids and just go do what I got to do, you know.
I'm right at the beginning of it, actually. Like, I'm just getting into all that, the custody, the court, and everything, getting my paperwork. It's a long process.
Man.
It truly is a long process, but I'm willing to fight that battle, though.
Hell yeah.
Wow. And that's
it's a hard battle in Minnesota. This is a women's state, so, you know, they're always on their side.
Fight, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's so serious. You know, and that's something that's like, you know, it's somewhat of a birthright to be with your child. You know what I'm saying? The way that the government put a hand in the situation be mad sometimes, you know.
Be crazy.
You know what my favorite movie was growing up?
What's that?
And it still is.
What?
The Lion King.
Oh, my God. I seen it live.
I'm always watch
It's a great
Me too.
That was so good.
I ain't get to see the live
So
one, but
good.
I'm always watch the original for sure.
Now,
Watch the original
original's good,
first
too.
before you
Don't get me
watch the
wrong now.
live version.
You gotta watch it all.
no, peep game. You know what I mean? Because I think that's a movie. That's a movie about our type of lives.
Yes.
Now Simba had his father. Mufasa was in his life.
Exactly.
Simba was the prince.
Bro.
Mufasa was the king.
Oh, me.
Simba had Mufasa to look at and be like, "Oh, I just can't wait to be king."
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, Mufasa died. You know what I mean? Simba was lost and he was all out there. Hakuna Matata with Timon and Pumbaa. You know what I mean?
Which means no worries.
Right. We all go there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nala had to find him and be like, "Yo, you're our only hope," and whoop-de-whoop-whoop. You know what I mean? Mufasa's spirit had to come from the sky and tell Simba, like, "Yo, you're my son. You're the true king. You're forgetting who you are. You're forgetting who you are."
Lock it in.
And then Simba took his place as king.
Exactly.
And now, you know what series I like watching?
What?
Power.
Oh,
P.
so good.
You got
So good.
Ghost, James St. Patrick,
Exactly.
right? You know what I mean?
Exactly. The
Business
father figure
owner,
right there,
the
bro.
club, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Drug dealing and killing and whatever. And then he has a son, Tariq. And then in his next season, Power Ghost, Power Book 2 Ghost, Tariq is trying to do everything that Ghost is doing.
Exactly.
Isn't it great?
That cycle's right over.
Earlier today, I think it was you, Raphael, you said that your father in that situation taught you what not to do. I think we have a lot of examples in the black community of what not to do. So we're going to call this segment, What Not to Do.
What not to do.
Does anybody want to start, you know what I mean, with one thing of what not to do? One thing that we don't want the next generation seeing us do?
I know one thing. Don't yell at your kids and definitely don't hit on them. That's not how you show love.
He said it. He said it so loud. It almost shook my ears.
Very truth, you know.
Yeah, that's truth.
What you got, Rob?
Probably the fighting with each other. You know, we always grow up seeing each other. You know, if it's school or something, oh, they about to fight, so-and-so about to fight. You know, we always hype up fighting each other instead of unity and bringing, you know, coming together. We'll always hype up together about a fight, you know, but, you know, never about anything positive for our community. So probably the negativity and fighting.
Yeah, like watching your parents fight, like definitely traumatize a child on my mama.
Dynamite.
Yeah, man, that's real. I would say one thing not to do, you know, I know that for some people in the community, everybody want to be, you know, what's the name do? Casanova, all the different women, you know what I'm saying? Want to have a lot of different, men in their life, you know what I'm saying? I'll have a whole bunch, I want to be the ladies' man, right? You know what I'm saying? And then a lot of these situations that we're talking about come from that, you know what I'm saying? And we still kind of normalize and stamp in like, oh, that's cool. He's a cool dude because he has all these different girls and stuff like that. But when them creating all these broken families along the way, chasing this girl and that girl, you know what I'm saying? I feel like we should stop that amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? When we hear one another, you know what I'm saying? We hear our brothers talking about like that, you know what I'm saying? Or like, oh yeah, I'm finna lie to this shorty and go be with her, you know? We should really address that, you know what I'm saying?
Now, with you making that point, it goes back to when we were saying, why is it important for us to have a father in the house, in the community, in our lives? You know what I mean? One time I was coming out of the church and the elders was talking about how young men think being a man is all about how many women you can sleep with and how many people you can fight and how much money you can spend. Stuff like that is why we need the father in the house to teach us what a man is like the right way, what it is to be a man the right way. Not all this crap that we're fed from TV and the radio and
fake media
and this garbage. Yeah. Now, I ain't forgetting, without deviating from where we're at, what not to do.
And clout chasing too.
Right. I'm really feeling the fighting and like, man, we ain't gonna be over here promoting hitting women. You know what I mean? We're not going to be over here doing that. We ain't promoting hitting women. We ain't promoting hitting your spouse, your mother, your auntie, your grandma, your sister. I don't care how mad she made you. We ain't promoting that over here.
Even if they hit you back.
Right.
Just leave it alone.
Get up out of there.
Yeah.
Be the bigger man.
You know what I mean?
That's what my father always told me.
Right. But my what not to do is not to let them see you being a bad example. You know what I mean? Not to let them see you putting yourself in those stupid situations where you can get yourself in trouble. Not letting them see you get high and drunk if you don't want that for your kid. You know what I mean? And if they end up growing up to do that or whatever, but don't let you be the enabler.
I was gonna say, if a woman ever hits you, just do what I do. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna top myself out of this and go for a walk. Do like a relaxing activity so that your mind can get off from that situation.
Yes, stay away from the anger and stuff like that. You don't need it. It's not healthy.
You gotta remove yourself sometimes.
All right, guys, we about to wrap this up, man. I want to give a shout out to the brothers of A Black Man's Sketch, Sensae, Titus, Rob, Raph.
Love, y'all.
Much love. Yeah.
Shout out Miss Monique.
I know that's right.
Yeah. Let's go.
That's what happened without her.
And man, I just want us to give a shout out to the men in our lives, you know what I mean? And let us know that we love them, you know what I mean?
Let's just get another round of applause for the father. Come on now. Yeah. Come on.
Facts.
We just got to. Yes, sir. Sorry for cutting you out, brother. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just remember to love yourself and love others. And just do the best to help them, because that's being a man, that's being a woman to me.
I want to say, to encourage one another. Our brothers are one day going to be fathers, so let's encourage the activities that we want to see the future fathers and the future children's. Let's encourage those activities onto our brothers, and encourage them to be kind and honest people.
Never give up. Never give up. That's what I would tell my son, my child, period. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Black Man Sketch. This has been a Father's Day episode. We talked about the men in our lives, whether they're our fathers or father figures. We shed light on the fathers in the room and the fathers that are out there trying, single fathers or fathers that are with somebody, new fathers, whatever the case may be. Talked about the importance of fathers being in our lives, being in the house, examples that we learn from our fathers from what to do and what we learn of what not to do from what we see from our fathers or just whatever examples out there. And before we cut out, just want to give a shout out to our fathers or our father figures that we love. I'm going to start out by saying, I love you, Alan. I love you, Dad. I love you, Coach Keith. Sensei?
Positive. I love you, Papa. I love all the father figures out there. And love to, the tough gong Bob Marley.
I love you, Dad. I love you, Mom. And also love Coach Julius and also Coach Pat.
Shout out Coach Julius.
This Robert Webb. Just going to say, love, Dad. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to myself, and love you, daughters. I'm gonna see y'all soon.
I love you, Dad. I love you, Uncle. And I'm just gonna keep my spirit racing and up from this moment point on.
This has been a Black Man Sketch. This has been your host, Wes.
Sensae,
Titus.
Robert.
Raphael.
Everybody have a good night and thanks for listening.